Greetings and salutations, dreamers and dreamland. Welcome to the latest edition of Listen to Me, Volume 34. Today is Friday, July 16th, 2021, and today's episode of Listen to Me is dedicated to one thing and one thing only. Tomorrow night, showtime, courtesy of the PBC, believe it or not, we are going to get a gift. The Undisputed Junior Middleweight Championship of the World. That's right. All four belts at 154 pounds will be contested between two gladiators. Two guys that in the sport of boxing, they're looking for all the smoke at 154, and that's a fact. I'm talking about Argentina's Brian Castano, the WBO champion at 154 pounds, 17-0, 12 knockouts, 1 draw. He will be contested, challenging, taking on, however you want to word it. He'll be taking on Jermell Charlo, the current unified WBC, WBA, IBF, and Ring Magazine junior middleweight champion of the world, the 154-pound unified champion, Jermell Charlo. Now, this fight is a gift from the PBC. Unbelievably, we're going to get an undisputed 154-pound title fight, courtesy of the PBC. Now, look, I want to praise them because in the past, I've been very critical when they've done things like block Undisputed at, let's say, heavyweight, or block the Spence and Crawford fight, or block, Tank Davis fighting against Farmer for $7 million to bring another belt back home at 130 pounds, or, even under the same roof sometimes at the PBC. For example, like when they have Gary Russell Jr., Leo Santa Cruz at the same weight class, both as champions for years and years and years and years and years, and for some reason they don't make the unification. These things boggle my mind. These things take away from the great sport of boxing, the legacy, the history. It takes away. And for whatever reason, it's very difficult for unification to be made, even when both fighters are underneath the same banner, even when there's two fighters underneath the PBC. Examples like I had mentioned, Deontay Wilder, Charles Martin, they were both heavyweight champions, IBF, WBC, yet the unification doesn't happen. Like I said, Leo Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr. But tomorrow night on Showtime, not on pay-per-view, not $80, just your regular old Showtime subscription, you get Brian Castano and Jermell Charlo for all the belts. All the belts at 154 pounds. Again, Brian Castano, 17-0, 12 knockouts, 1 draw with Eris Landy Lara. Now, that draw is very highly contested, very controversial. Most people that watch that fight will tell you they feel that Brian Castano did enough to win. And let's be honest, Eris Landy Lara for a long time was the authority at 154 pounds. He gave Canelo Alvarez all he could handle. And a lot of people will tell you in that fight that Lara may have deserved to win against Canelo. Regardless of any conjecture or opinions, Lara was a proven guy for a very long time at 154 pounds. Brian Castano went in there with that guy and got a draw. Didn't lose the fight. So that'll tell you that he definitely, could have done enough to win. Regardless, that'll tell you that his mettle has definitely been tested, and he's definitely what we would call a thoroughbred. I mean, Brian Castano, he actually was afforded the opportunity to cross the street, go over to the other side of the street, beat Teixeira, bring the WBO title back to PBC Island. So he actually has went out and branched out, went to somebody else's show and took a championship back home. Jermell Charlo, 34-1, 18 knockouts. His one sole loss in his career was a very close fight with Tony Harrison a couple of years ago. He went on from that fight and he won the rematch, the immediate rematch. He took his title back. He went on from that fight and he beat Jason Rosario, who would beat the unified champion J-Rock Julian Williams, who had beaten Jarrett Hurd, who many people felt was one of, he was the unified champion and maybe the authority at the weight at the time at 154 pounds. Since then, things have changed for Jarrett Hurd, and since then, things have changed in the 154-pound weight division's landscape. However, Jason Rosario was the unified champion. Jermell Charlo, he beat that guy easily, clean. I don't want to say it was a walk in the park, but he got that guy out of there, and it didn't really look like it took much. Truly, Jermell Charlo is right now, in my opinion, going into this fight, he's the authority at the weight. He's the unified champion. He's the Ring Magazine champion. He's proven. He's beaten anyone and everyone in 154 pounds that's gotten to the ring with him. He's done it. Every man he's ever been in the ring with, He's beaten. Yes, he lost to Harrison, but he beat him in the rematch. There's value in that. And there's value in this fight tomorrow night. And let me tell you, right now, everybody's favorite boxing shaman, yours truly, The Dream, I'm going to give you my weekend pick, my pick for the fight tomorrow night for the Undisputed Championship at 154 pounds. Now again, I've already praised the PBC. I've been very critical in the past of them for their lack of unifications, for their lack of working with other promotions. And again, even when they have two fighters in-house, they haven't really done unifications. But now they're not only giving us a unification, they're giving us Undisputed. And they're not charging us for it. This is not a pay-per-view. And in my opinion, this is the better Charlo, Jermell Charlo. He actually fights guys at his weight that are live dogs, live animals, champions. He's proven it. And you know something? I think, in my opinion, as much as I respect Brian Castano, and I think he's a great puncher and a solid pressure fighter, my pick is Jermell Charlo to win by decision, a unanimous decision against Brian Castano. That is my pick. Jermell Charlo will emerge the undisputed junior middleweight champion of the world, the first in history in the four-belt era to have all the belts will be Jermell Charlo. Take it from your favorite boxing shaman. Remember, I'm your favorite boxing shaman, and to me, well, I still love you anyway. My friends, it's been a pleasure. Yours and not mine. Ha ha! You know that's coming. Everybody and anybody, you know I'm The Dream. Until we meet again, peace.